Every single day you wake up and make a choice. Most people don't even realize they're making it. They roll over, hit snooze, and silently vote again for the life they don't want. Not because they lack talent, not because the opportunity isn't there, but because they have never learned the one skill that separates people who dream from people who build. And the skill of making hard decisions when fast, clean, and without apology? Here's what I know after studying peak performers, world-class leaders, and self-made icons across every industry on the planet. Success is never an accident. It is always the direct result of a decision someone was willing to make that everyone else was too afraid to touch. If you stay with me today, I'm going to show you exactly why comfort is slowly destroying your potential. I'm going to break down the real cost of waiting, the price tag nobody talks about. I'm going to hand you the mental framework that turns paralyzing fear into unstoppable forward motion. And I'm going to challenge you at the deepest level to finally make the call you have been postponing. This is not motivation. This is not a pep talk. This is a blueprint. And by the time we are done, you will not just feel ready, you will be ready. The only question is whether you are willing to go there. Let's find out. The decision is the destination, not the plan, not the preparation, not the perfect moment you keep waiting for. The decision itself is where transformation begins. Most people believe success is a place you arrive at after you've figured everything out. Wrong. Success is what gets built the moment you commit. The second you stop negotiating with yourself and plant your flag, that's where the new life starts. Not when it works out, not when it makes sense. When you decide, and yet you're still waiting, still calculating, still telling yourself you need more time, more money, more certainty before you move, let me tell you what that is. That is fear wearing the costume of strategy. That is your mind protecting your ego from the risk of trying and failing. But here's what's real. Every hour you wait is a vote against yourself. Every day you delay is a day you spend building someone else's dream while yours collects dust. Stop waiting. Start deciding. Because the people who win, the ones who build the companies, lead the movements, create the lives that others call lucky, they didn't have more information than you. They didn't have less fear. They simply refused to let the waiting become the answer. They understood that momentum is not something you find. It is something you force into existence with a single irreversible choice. The decision doesn't need to be perfect. It needs to be made. Your competition isn't smarter. They're just faster at saying yes to themselves. So right now in this moment, stop asking for permission from a future that isn't guaranteed. Make the call, take the step. Decide, because the destination has been waiting for you the entire time. Comfort is the enemy of greatness, not failure, not competition, not the economy, the timing, or the circumstances you keep pointing at. Comfort, because failure teaches you something. It sharpens you, redirects you, forces you to evolve. But comfort just quietly robs you. It sits beside you every morning and whispers that things are fine, that you've done enough, that the risk isn't worth it. And you listen because comfort feels like safety, but what it really is a slow surrender. Every day you choose the familiar over the extraordinary, you are not standing still. You are moving backwards. The world is accelerating and comfort is the brake you keep pressing while wondering why everyone else is pulling ahead. Fear doesn't block the path, you do. Read that again. Not the market, not your past, not the people who doubted you or the opportunities that didn't work out. You are the variable. You are the one standing between where you are and where you know you are capable of being. Fear is just the feeling, it is not the force. It has no hands. It cannot stop you from making a call, sending a message, launching the idea, having the conversation. Only your choice to obey it can do that. And for years, maybe decades, you have been obeying it like it has authority over you. It does not. Here's what the highest performers in the world understand that most people never will. Discomfort is not a signal to stop. It is a signal that you are close. The tension you feel before the hard decision, the resistance before the bold move, that is not danger. That is growth announcing itself. Champions don't eliminate fear. They stop letting fear eliminate them. They feel it fully, they acknowledge it completely, and then they move anyway, because they know that on the other side of comfort and fear is everything they ever wanted. The cost of doing nothing is the most expensive bill you will ever pay, and the cruelest part is that it arrives slowly. It doesn't hit you all at once. It accumulates quietly, invisibly, in the years of potential left unlocked, in the relationships never built, in the version of yourself you kept promising to become. People fear the cost of action. They calculate the risk of moving, the possibility of failing, the chance that it won't work. But they never sit down and calculate the devastating compounding cost of staying exactly where they are. That cost is real. That cost has weight, and one day, and if you are not careful, that cost becomes regret. And regret is the heaviest thing a human being can carry. One choice changes everything. Not a series of perfect choices, not a flawless strategy executed over years. One decision made with conviction at the moment it matters most. That is the hinge point of every great story ever told. Think about your own life. Every significant shift, every real breakthrough, every moment you look back on with pride, it all traces back to a single point where you chose differently. Where you said yes when everything in you screamed to wait. Where you moved when stillness felt safer. That is not coincidence. That is the architecture of transformation. One choice creates momentum. Momentum creates results. Results create identity. And identity, like who you decide to become, is the only foundation that lasts. You are always one decision away. Clarity kills excuses. The moment you get brutally honest about what you want, why you want it, and what is actually stopping you, the excuses dissolve. They cannot survive precision. Vagueness is where excuses live. Someday, almost ready, not the right time. These are the languages of people hiding from clarity. Get clear and the fog lifts. Get clear and the next step becomes obvious. Get clear and you realize the only thing that was ever in the way was the story you kept telling yourself. You already know what to do. You have always known. The answer you keep searching for in books, in advice, in validation from others, it has been inside you the entire time. You don't need more information. You need the courage to act on what you already know is true. Stop outsourcing your instincts. Stop waiting for someone to confirm what your gut has been screaming for months. Trust yourself. Decide. Move. The life you want is one hard yes away. Not 10 perfect decisions. Not a flawless plan executed without error. One courageous, committed, unshakable yes to the thing you have been circling for too long. That yes is a door, and behind it is the version of you that stopped waiting and started building. Say it. Mean it. Move. Decide like your future is watching. Because it is. Every choice you make today is casting a vote for the person you are becoming tomorrow. The future version of you, the one you claim to want to be, is built entirely from the decisions you make right now, in the moments nobody sees, when comfort is available and courage is required. Choose accordingly. You have now heard everything you need. Not everything you wanted to hear, everything you needed to hear. The truth is uncomfortable. Growth is uncomfortable. But regret is unbearable. And you did not come to this moment in this life with this potential to play small and call it safe. Every hard decision you make is a declaration to yourself, to the world, that you refuse to settle for less than what you are capable of building. The path forward is not hidden. It never was. It is waiting on the other side of the choice you have been avoiding. Make it today, not tomorrow. Not when conditions improve. Today. Thank you for spending this time with Alpha Motivation World, where we do not just talk about success, we dismantle every excuse standing between you and it. If this speech moves something in you, hit like, drop a comment below telling me the one decision you are committing to right now, and subscribe, because this community is built for people who are serious about their next level. Stay locked in because our next motivational speech is going to hit even harder. See you there.